Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my first ever Q&A. I got a lot more questions than I thought I would, which is awesome, so let's just hop right into them. I'm going to try to put them all in one video. If they won't all fit, then I'm going to just make a second video the day after, and yeah, your questions will be answered in there, so if you don't see them in this video, don't be too worried. So the first bunch of questions are inquiring how exactly I make my guide. So the first one here by J. Florian, how long does it take me to make a guide? Then there's Fresh Risky asking, how do I make my videos? And My Channel also asking, how do I make my guides? So the first step is actually making my replay, and you can use either LSI or Skin Spotlights to do this. By the way, I'm keeping track of all these programs, and they're all going to be in the video description for any of you guys that want to try out these products. But keep in mind, most of them you do have to pay for, but both of the replay tools, LSI and Skin Spotlights, are completely free. My favorite is LSI, which stands for LOL Summoner Information, but both are great options. So now that I've got my replay, I have to actually record this and turn it into a video. Now, as of very recently, I was using XSplit to do this, but with a recent patch, it really is hard on my CPU now. My CPU is garbage, by the way, so I had to find something new. I switched to Bandicam, and it is by far my favorite tool for capturing my replays. Way better than XSplit ever was, and I wish I knew of it earlier. So now comes all that fun editing. But actually, before that comes a lot of research. I've played League of Legends for a very, very long time, and sometimes I have builds that are a little bit different than most people do, so I kind of mix my own thoughts in with other people's builds. LOLKing, Champion.gg, and League of Graphs are by far my favorites for this information. Once I found a lot of information and I compare it with my own, then I start making guides. First up, of course, is Photoshop. I of course Photoshop all of those pictures that I show while I'm in the guides, all the things, at the top right that show all the information that I'm talking about. Once I Photoshop the entire guide, I then move on to the next step. The next step I actually kind of do two in one. I use both Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Audition to make the actual guide. I start up Premiere Pro, drag in the video I recorded, and then start from there. One by one, I drag the photoshopped pictures into Premiere Pro and then talk on Audition, record my voice, and then drag that into Premiere Pro as well. I start doing it section by section, and after a while, it's finally done. Then, of course, I export the video and upload it to YouTube. So as for the second part, the time frame, it kind of varies. So first, of course, research time varies. There's a lot of champions out there that I've played for years and years and years, and I don't need to research them. Some then, of course, require a little bit of research. I'm not a pro on 132 different champions. I wish I was. I'm pretty decent on all of them, but definitely not a pro at all of them. Getting the footage can take maybe an hour. You play a game, you get the replay, and then you simply use Bandicam to record that footage. As for doing the whole vocals and all that stuff, honestly, it takes me between 1 and 2 hours, usually around 2 hours, which is pretty long time. Depending on the champion, sometimes I get this down to an hour. It kind of really depends. As for the exporting and the uploading to YouTube, that's probably about another hour, so in total, you're looking at about 3 to 4 hours for a guide. I'm just realizing I'm probably going to have to put this in 2 parts because this first question took me almost 3 minutes. So next up, we got Urios247 asking what rank I am in League, and MadGamer675 wants to know the same thing as well, but also when I first started playing League. So I started playing League of Legends right when it launched. I played Dota 1 before, and when we heard about this new thing out called League of Legends, I decided to try it with a couple friends, and I've kept playing it ever since. As for my current rank, my main account is actually lower than my Smurf right now. My main account is in Platinum, and my Smurf is in Diamond. I usually play my Smurf account with a friend, so usually I'm duo when I am on my Smurf account, which is probably why it's higher, because he's a really good player. I would probably call myself either a really high plat or low diamond player. The one thing that keeps me from going higher right now is definitely my mechanics. I have a lot of game knowledge about League of Legends. I mean, I've been playing MOBA literally since they've came out, but my mechanics are not quite there yet. CJ Reynolds would like to know who my first main was and what role I played him or her in. So believe it or not, my first 2 mains were support Taric and middle Mordekaiser.
Taric and Mord? Are you serious? Who the hell plays Taric and Mord? It's Teemo for life, respect my name!
Wow, holy shit, I don't know why that squirrel's so mad, but yeah, Mordekaiser, middle, and Taric support were my 2 main champions when I started out. It was actually pretty damn good. I started playing a lot of ranked in Season 2. I didn't start too much in Season 1, and I had a 90% win rate on like 50 games as Mordekaiser, and about 70% win rate on literally like 200 Taric games. Of course, now both of these champions are reworked, and They're okay. I like the older versions though. Now, Nick the Archer would like to know what my lowest elo ever was. And I don't ever remember being in bronze. I'm pretty sure I got placed in silver my first time ever, but honestly I don't totally remember. Hindset then asks, with a couple happy faces, what my highest elo ever was. So that is my current elo on my Smurf account, which is in Diamond 2. I guess it's not really fair to call it my Smurf account anymore now that it's quite a lot higher than my main account, as I don't really play my main account too often. So now Ogi Rajkovic, I hope I pronounced that right, would like to know where I am from. So I am from Canada, the land of the maple syrup, beer, igloos, moose, the CN Tower, and your favorite, Justin Bieber.
Oh, baby!
I'm really sorry for putting that last one in there. Tyrell Ballantyne would like to know what my favorite food is and how exactly I feel about pineapple on pizza, and I have to be very careful about the question. As for my favorite food, that's easy. Easily sushi. Man, that stuff is delicious. As for pineapple on pizza, okay, I literally stayed up all night thinking about this question, and I couldn't sleep because of it. I questioned myself whether I truly enjoyed the pineapple. The answer is quite simply yes. Pineapple is delicious. However, my good sir, this is not my favorite topping. I do prefer something like a deluxe pizza, something with mushrooms and green peppers, but when I'm feeling adventurous, sometimes I opt for the pineapple. Alright, so now we have a bunch asking about my champions, what I like to play and what I like and whatnot. So first is Notice Me Senpai Please, which is what's your main role? Then we have Nikola Kitanovsky asking main role as well, and then main champion and what I think is the funniest or perhaps funnest champion. Then there is Abood Boo, who would like to know my main champion as well and what I do when I get bored of League of Legends. Then Ray Z 2003, who do I main and how long have I played League? And finally 4473021, awesome name buddy, favorite champion and if I will ever do stream highlights. I'm kind of clumping these ones together because they're all about roles and favorite champions and whatnot, so let's discuss each of these. So first, for my main roles, I play a lot of support and jungle. I like playing the champions that can roam around a lot more often and help lanes and get the game snowballing to, increase my chances of victory as much as possible. Support's definitely my strongest role and I play it about maybe 65-70% of the time at least. As for my main champions, I've played League so much to the point that I have a relatively good champion pool. I wouldn't really say I have one main champion. So when I'm playing support, I play a lot of Annie, Morgana, and Janna. And then when I'm playing jungle, it's a lot of Jax, Lee Sin, but my number one favorite overall, Maokai. As for my favorite champion, I'd probably honestly say Maokai. He's not considered meta at all right now, but he's still got insanely strong ganks, and he can really get lanes snowballing. Now for the funniest champion, I would probably say Heimerdinger, specifically with his skin that makes him look cracked out of his friggin' mind. He runs around dropping turrets and sounds like a complete idiot. For the funnest champion, I would probably say Shaco. I wish I was a lot better at Shaco. He's insanely fun to play. I'm only mediocre, but he's definitely really fun to play. He's currently the champion I'm working on adding into my pool and feeling very comfortable with. So as I mentioned pretty much at the beginning of the video, I have played League since it came out, so that's how long I've played. And before that, I played Dota 1, so I've been playing MOBAs for many years. When I get bored of League of Legends, I usually go watch sports or something. Sometimes I watch TV shows, like I like the, Game of Thrones and all the very generic, awesome shows people watch. But I even find time for some World of Warcraft, believe it or not, once in a while, in between all this League of Legends and making YouTube videos and watching sports and all that other kind of stuff I do. As for the stream highlights, I am assuming you're talking about like LCS and stuff. And, that sounds pretty cool. It's something I could think about, and maybe one day, or maybe I can get people to submit videos and I can do, commentary on their videos or best 5 plays of the week or something. Who knows? Who knows where this channel can go. Now we have a Tizix, and he would like to know what I think about LeBlanc and if she is worth 3,150 IP. So she's definitely an incredible champion, and she can carry games and delete targets very easily. However, it's not really an assassin meta at the moment, but honestly that doesn't really mean anything in solo queue. You can carry with LeBlanc relatively easy if you can delete the AD carry, no problem. As for the price, I would have to say hell yes. There's many champions twice the price who are complete garbage. LeBlanc is definitely worth the price. Now there's Det Trollet Som Spellar asking what makes me want to keep playing League. Ursa.tv, hello Dota player, why you started with League. And Stream A asking how I discovered the game. So I keep playing League because it's fun to me. I still have a lot of friends that play the game, and I queue with them all the time, and it's pretty much honestly just a great time. Now I also have the guides that I enjoy making, so I put a lot of time into that as well, so, you know, I'm going to stick around for quite a long haul. As for why I started and how I found it, it was all because of Dota 1. I randomly tried Dota 1 because of a friend, and then League of Legends ended up coming out, and we decided to go to that, and thought it was a much better game, you know, obviously because it's newer. Dota 1 was excellent as well. Etezdu22 would like to know if he should play Kazakhs or Rengar. He only has 10 hours of the game played, and which one I would recommend of the two champions. Both are definitely very fun to play champions, and I can see why you'd like to play them. I'm assuming jungle as well. I hope that's a safe assumption. But they're definitely champions with a higher skill cap than a lot of the champions out there. And if you have 10 hours of the game played and you're learning a jungler, honestly, I would try something else first. If you'd like a recommendation, I'd probably say try Udyr. He's got really strong ganks, he's strong at all stages of the game, and you don't even lose HP in the jungle, really. But if you are set on those champions, I mean, obviously you can still learn with those champions. It'll just take a longer time. But I would say Rengar is probably the easiest of the two, and, you know, he's really, really fun to play. At this point, I'm just going to bang the rest of these questions out. It's probably going to end up around 15 minutes or so, but I mean, that's the length of a guide anyways, so hopefully you guys don't mind, and you actually stick through the whole thing. So, iNinja Gaming would like to know if I think League of Legends is dying. Now, I suppose you could make the case that every game that's ever come out is at least dying. You know, nothing's going to live forever. And I mean, League of Legends population's probably dwindled off a tiny bit, you know, with Heroes of the Storm and all those other games, and Overwatch is pretty popular right now, but I definitely wouldn't say it's dying. I definitely say the game's plateaued, but I would say it's not going anywhere anytime soon. TJ Tubb would like to know if I'm going to do a Yorick guide when he has been reworked. Short answer, yes of course. I've always liked the thought of him, you know, the Undertaker with the ghouls and whatnot, so when Yorick is actually a somewhat viable champion, absolutely. Like, you know, he should be a viable champion, obviously. He shouldn't be a complete piece of crap like he is right now. So when he's reworked, I'll definitely be making a guide on him. Emin Kadrick is wondering where the hell Adam went. So Adam's been trying to get into the military for quite a long time now, and, you know, right when we were starting this, of course, he finally got in after waiting for a very long time. So, pretty much, it is just me for now. You know, I don't know really how his thing's gonna turn out, or, you know, whatever. But, you know, maybe he'll come to the channel one day, maybe he won't. We'll just kind of have to see what happens. Emin, of course, is talking about our intro channel video when you go to, like, you know, subscribe to the channel. It's me and Adam talking in that, and that is the only video Adam is actually in. Now we have a multi-question from Not a Real Skull Blacka. So first, what is my favorite off-meta pick? And that is definitely Maokai. He is my favorite champion, and since he's not considered meta right now, he is easily my favorite off-meta pick. Now, if I am happy with my channel, and I am very happy with my channel, I'm glad that it's growing at a pretty decent rate. I hope it gets big one day, because I would love to do this for, you know, quite a long time as an actual job, so hopefully we get there. But, you know, it's going nicely. As for adding people on League, that's something I'm going to do sometime soon. Right now, you know, I kind of keep my accounts to myself because I'm doing a lot of trying to, you know, rank up, trying to get videos to make guides with, all that kind of stuff. But eventually, I'm definitely going to be releasing that, and, you know, I'll be playing games with all the subscribers and whatnot, so that'll be something that comes for sure. Now, Darth Revan, Star Wars is awesome by the way, would like to know the top 10 best champions. So I'm going to give you some based on solo queue climbing and 2 per role, just so, you know, some people that are curious will have ones listed for the roles that they play. So for top lane, I'd probably say Yasuo and Darius. Both of these champions can be absolute lane bullies and carry games. For mid lane, I'd probably say Ahri and Swain. Ahri can just absolutely delete people, and Swain is, oh man, he's a friggin' monster, especially if there's no grievous wounds. The first jungler I'd list is definitely Amumu. He has so much team fight, it's ridiculous, and I would have said Gragas, but with the change to his ultimate having, like, flight time or whatever, I don't think he's that viable for, like, somebody new trying to rank up. Instead, I'll probably put Malphite here, actually. Like, you know, he's got an armor buff now with the patch, and he's a pretty solid jungler, and I've seen him pretty popular, so Malphite, he might have pretty good potential to be a good jungler, I think. For AD carry, first one I'd say would be Jinx. Jinx, in my opinion, was already god tier, and now that they gave her a buff, I don't even understand. So Jinx easily. As for a second one, I'd still probably say Jhin, even though he just got nerfed a little bit in 6.17, but it was certainly not enough to actually kill that champion. For support, first one definitely Sona. So much poke, so much sustain, just a ridiculous stupid champion, and with a full AP build, can one-shot combo AD carries. It's ridiculous. For the second support, I'd probably say Blitzcrank if you are comfortable with, grabbing champions, but if not, something like Leona would probably be pretty great. Yeah, at level 2, if she takes Ignite, you can just Ignite combo people with your EQ and just snowball the lane from there. It's pretty jokes. Alright, for our last ones, Extreme PC Gaming would like some advice to climb out of Bronze, and Cyware would like some tips as well for improving in League. So the first piece of advice I would offer would be to actually settle on some main roles. I have a lot of friends that are still in Bronze and Silver, and I mean, that's completely fine. But it's mainly, I think, to deal with the fact that they keep jumping to like every single champion in the world. They keep switching the roles every friggin' week. And I was just fortunate enough to stick to support and jungle my entire time through League. Like, I played it for, honestly, many seasons, just those 2 roles, and then I started branching out afterwards. Another important thing is focusing on last hitting. Some people roam around too much or try to harass too much and all sorts of different crap, and they end up missing all the CS, and then they never have items. If you struggle last hitting, try to play champions who are actually good at last hitting. Something like Xerath, who can clear entire minion waves with his combo, would be something good for that type of player. If you've decided you want to be an AD carry player, play something like Caitlyn, who can last hit from a long range and goes for a high AD build early on so they can actually last hit. Don't go for something that generally gets attack speed instead, like a Vayne or Kog'Maw. You may have trouble CSing. The last thing you might want to do is look at some websites that list champions that are current meta, what their win rates are and whatnot, so you know what is a good choice in the current meta. Those links, of course, will also be in the video description for you guys to look at, so you can decide what champions you want to play. That's pretty much all the advice I have, to be honest. I mean, getting out of Bronze is not too hard. As long as you work at it, you'll make it out. I believe in you. But yeah, this video is already long enough. It's probably pushing 17 minutes or so I'm going to end it here. And I actually did cover every single question I saw. By the way, if you do have any other questions, make sure you leave them on this video, and I will answer those on next week's Q&A. Thank you guys a lot for listening. I hope you guys did find it entertaining. I tried to add a little bit of, funny crap in there to entertain you guys. Hopefully it worked. And yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys around the YouTube channel. Peace.